Okay, let's get into this. You've just had one of those weeks, right? Punishing hours, your calendar was just solid, and you feel completely drained.
Hmm.
But then you look at the metrics, the actual growth, and the needle hasn't even budged.
Right.
That's the specific, exhausting problem we're tackling today. This confusion between being busy and actually making intentional progress.
It's a huge distinction.
Yeah.
And for leaders, it's everything. We're really digging into what some of the research calls inertia disguised as action.
Inertia disguised as action. I like that.
Yeah. I mean, look, everyone works hard. That's just table stakes now. But the
Mhm.
real question is whether all that effort is actually aligned with the business outcome.
So you can be perpetually busy, but growth is just flat.
Exactly. You're just spinning your wheels, but, in a very sophisticated way.
So what does that wheel spinning look like on say, a Tuesday afternoon?
Well, the busyness mode, as the material calls it, is all about the superficial stuff. It's the long hours. It's the back-to-back meetings that don't have a clear goal.
The reactive work.
The reactive work. Answering emails, putting out fires, jumping between a dozen tasks with no real plan. The big red flag is feeling completely fried at the end of the day,
Right.
but realizing you didn't touch the one or two things that actually matter.
And the flip side of that coin, being intentional, what's that?
It's the total inverse.
Mm-hmm.
It's about laser-focused effort that you can measure.
Mm-hmm.
An intentional person knows the few key priorities that genuinely move the needle.
It all comes down to measurement then.
It's about measuring results, not just activity,
Well,
not hours worked. I mean, if you can't clearly say what one or two metrics would make this week a success, you're probably trapped in that busy cycle.
okay, so let's talk about the damage this does. The research brings up these hidden costs of just staying busy. One of them is called time theft.
Yeah, that's a powerful one.
Every hour you spend on some low-impact task, you are literally stealing that time from the high-impact strategic work that only you can do.
And it's gone forever. That opportunity window closes. And all that constant reacting, jumping from email to call, it creates something else.
Decision fatigue.
Exactly. It just drains the mental energy you need for the big picture thinking.
And that fatigue, that doesn't just hurt you as an individual, does it?
Oh, not at all. That's where the organizational impact really kicks in. Stalled growth is the obvious one, but the more subtle danger is team confusion.
Because they're mirroring you.
They mirror the chaos. If the leadership is reactive and scattered, the team will be too. Intentionality creates clarity, not just for you, but for everyone.
So this all feels very familiar. How do we pivot? How do we get from that chaos to actual intent?
It has to start with structure. The sources are really clear on this. The first, most practical step is to define 3 key priorities each week.
Just 3.
Just 3. Everything else, every other email, every optional meeting has to be secondary to those 3 things.
Well, what's the filter? How do you make sure those 3 aren't just the easiest things on your list, but the right things?
That's the challenge. The filter isn't urgency, it's leverage. You have to ask, does this task directly move a revenue line, a profit metric, a core system? If not, it's not a priority.
And then you have to defend that time.
You have to protect it. The research points to time blocking for high-impact work, literally walling off 2 to 3 hours on your calendar every single day.
No interruptions.
No interruptions, it's your deep work time. And that 2 to 3 hour block is apparently optimal because it aligns with our natural cognitive cycles. You get your best work done before fatigue sets in.
That's a fascinating insight. It's not just about time, but about energy.
Right. And finally, you need a system so you don't just drift back into old habits. They call them reflective checkpoints.
Like a midweek check-in.
Exactly. You pause and do a quick audit. Did what I did today actually impact one of my 3 priorities? Could I have delegated it? And this is the brave part, you have to ask your team.
Oh, that's tough.
It is, but it's gold.
Mm-hmm.
You ask them non-defensively, where do you see me spinning my wheels? Their perspective is invaluable.
So to wrap this all up, the core takeaway from this deep dive really seems to be that busyness is easy. It's the default. But real growth, that only comes from intentional, aligned action. And that's hard work.
It is. And that leaves you, the listener, with a really important question to reflect on. If an action you're about to take isn't directly linked to one of your top 3 priorities this week, what is the true cost of keeping that task on your schedule?